morning. Happy Tuesday. Our usual Tuesday morning get together, right? I've got my tea. You've got your coffee or something. Depending on where you are in the country, will depend on how early this is. I'm in Las Vegas today. I go to Kansas City next week for our Fun Fearless Female Luncheon. I'm looking really forward to that. And so, hi there. Good morning, Miss Kathy. How you doing? It is a little bit more, a little chilly outside here. Not like it is in Kansas City, I'm sure. But good morning. And how you feeling about those Chiefs? Like, whoop, whoop, whoop. That was really cool. That last quarter was really amazing. I am not a big football fan, if many of y'all may know or not. But it was really exciting. That last quarter, like, whoa, my gosh, it was awesome. So, yes, the home of the world champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Woo! I know, love it, right? Good morning, Natalie, also from Kansas City, and Erica. Good morning. I'm glad you can be with us this morning. So glad that you're here. So we're going to talk this morning a little bit about success and what does success mean to you, because the truth is it means different things to different people. But we'll give everybody maybe another minute to get on. Oh my gosh, 27 degrees. Okay. Although I think we're about maybe 35 or something. So for here, that's pretty chilly. Yesterday, the wind was blowing so much. Most people don't realize that, but boy, Vegas can have a lot of wind, 30, 40 mile hour winds. And, you know, that just is not fun no matter where you are, right? I've always been surprised since we moved here that was the case. I always thought Kansas City had so much wind. But anyway, let's see who else is on here. Diane, good morning. So Diane, where are you from? Where do you live? We like to have a little, see who we're reaching across the country. Hey, Natalie, good morning. Hope to see you next week, by the way. Any of y'all that are from Kansas City, as you get on today, want to encourage you to get on and get your tickets to come join us for lunch. We'll be at Maggiano's in Overland Park. We're only doing that once a quarter, so you know, make that extra effort to come if you can, because it'd be great to see you. All right, so I have found in my travels across the country and talking to women that sometimes we have various reasons for what we would call success. Most people would look at that external image of, you know, initially, I think right off the top, most people would think, well, if you're making and the thing is, it varies, but in general, people say, well, if you're making a six-figure income, you have a nice house, you know, you're in a nice relationship, then that is success. Well, the question to each one of us is, what does success mean to you? You know, as an individual, what does it mean to you? Good morning, Kim. Nice to have you with us. Let us know where you are, what part of the country. And very good. I see some new names. I love that. So when you're thinking about success to you, and then as I coach people, that's what I find too, is that difference in what everybody feels is success for themselves. And sometimes we begin to think of success in the terms of what society says is success, right? And instead of really, what does it mean to you, and what is it that you're looking for? Excuse me. Oftentimes, you may be doing a job that you really love and enjoy, and you love getting up and going to work every morning. And boy, I do hope that's the case for you, because that's a wonderful way to live, where you can get up every day and really enjoy what you do and the people that you see, that you surround yourself with. I was reading something the other day, and I thought this was really true, and it says, you know, if you're making a good income, can pay your bills, have money to do some of the things that you enjoy doing, like if you enjoy travel or you like going out with friends for dinner, if you have money to do that and you enjoy getting up every day and going to work, you are really blessed, because most of the country, most of the people don't have that. There are so many, huge percentage of people that are going to jobs that they don't enjoy, that they don't like. That's why they call them going to the job. When I was in Mary Kay, we talked about that. You know, when they're tired of going to that job that they don't like. Because if you like your job, it's really like, oh, It's that enjoyment of going every day. So as we begin to look and think about what does success mean to you, you're never going to, in the first place, you're never going to have that true feeling, that true success that you want until you really know what it is you want. And I think sometimes it's really hard to define, and that's why people reach out to others. What is it that's going to give you that satisfaction, that joy in your life, that true success? Because if we're only trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, if we're always trying to be what somebody else is, and if we're always trying to live up to this margin that somebody else has predetermined for us, we're never going to have that joy. We're never going to feel that true success. So I think let's look at a few things, ways that oftentimes we judge ourselves, and that I see women judging themselves. So let's just ask ourselves the question, what is it? So do you judge yourself and your success by the money you make? Okay, that's a big one. That the whole financial picture. Are you only going to consider yourself successful if you're making X dollars, that whatever it is, that's 100,000, that six-figure income? Are you only going to feel like you've arrived, that you've succeeded when you hit that number? Where did that number come from anyway? Was that just a random number? Whatever your number is, whatever that number is, how did you pick it out in the first place? So why is that important to you? So that's one of the things that that people look at as far as success. Do you only feel successful when you're weighing that certain amount and you can get your skinny jeans on? Now, granted, that feels really good, because I know I'm one of those yo-yo people. I'm up and down a lot. So when I can get in my skinny clothes, I do feel better about myself, I have to say. But is that how I evaluate if I'm successful in life? If I'm, is that the only thing? Okay, question for us to ask. That's not my only thing, but I have to say that is one that is important to me. I feel good when that happens, right? Maybe it's your job. So again, I talked about that just a minute ago. Do you only feel successful if you have one of those jobs that is approved by society? If you're, maybe to you success is only having a white collar type of job. Maybe to you success is owning your own business. Okay, well, sometimes owning your own business could not necessarily mean success. You might own it, but maybe you're not making any money. Maybe you have your own business, but you're not even able to pay your bills. So maybe that's one of the criteria that you look at too, if you're able to pay your bills. But how do we, let's just take your children. How do we judge our children or our best friend or your niece or nephew, depending? Because you may not have children, and so I don't want to exclude you there. But there's people in your life that you love. So how do you judge them? Do you judge them by the same criteria that you do yourself? So I'm going to give you a list of a few things that I would say are not good ways to judge yourself. I've actually already talked about a couple of them. But one of them is education, and I do hear this one a lot. If you were raised thinking that the only way you're going to be successful is if you have a degree and you never got your degree, then chances are you are beating up on yourself and you feel badly about yourself because you don't have that degree. So something I would suggest to you is then, okay, just look at it for what it is. Depending on how old you are and how far down the road you are, take a look and ask yourself, why is that important to you? Is it important to you because that's what the expectations was from other people, from your parents and your family, always saying, you're never going to amount to anything, or if you don't get a degree, you're never going to be successful in life. Now, I've heard that from people, not in my life, not my parents, but I've heard people talk about that. So if you've grown up with this concept in your head saying you're never going to be successful unless you have a degree, and you don't have a degree, then there's something inside you that's always nagging in that angst of not having a degree. So look at it and just, say, okay, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that for you? Maybe having a degree was never that big a deal to you inside, but because you haven't measured up, so to speak, to those other people's expectations, then you beat up on yourself. So I say take a look at that and be really honest and say, I don't really care. I'm doing great without that degree. It hasn't hindered me at all. It might back in years, but right now, today, that's not that big a deal. On the other hand, it might be really important to you. And I would say, so stop letting it bother you. Don't let it stop you anymore. Go out and get it. You know, it does not matter. Y'all heard my story about Susie, my friend, that decided at right around 50 that she had always wanted to be a doctor. And she just decided she was done letting everything else in her life get in her way, including her parents, who thought, now in this case, her parents basically told her that unless she found a man to marry her and take care of her, that was success that they impressed upon her. So success, that word success and value of how you feel about yourself and your worth comes from many sources, and most of the time it's from outside sources that are putting this on you. So you need to decide, what is it that really is important to you? So if to you, no, stop thinking about what anybody else says right now. Take a moment, and I would suggest maybe this week making an appointment with yourself. I know that sounds weird, right? Make an appointment with yourself and really sit down and think about that and look at these things and find out, okay, so what really is important to you? How are you judging yourself? All right, so maybe education. Now, the other one is body shape, okay? Do you continually beat up on yourself because you are not this image that you have in your mind of, you know, if you look like this, you're successful. Well, let me impress upon you that basically and I was going to call my sister, and I didn't want to get her up too early this morning. She'd be getting dressed for work. But she was a personal trainer for 30 years, and we have talked about this so many times. But there are 3 basic body shapes. I'm the one that's, I kind of gain and lose weight all over pretty evenly, which is nice on one's hand. And I'm very curvy. Okay, and I forget what it's called. So if somebody out there knows what that is, be sure to tell me. Then there is that tall, oh man, I wish I could remember these things. I so apologize. I'll look them up, or I'll call my sister and I'll put them on here later. That body shape that is that tall, lanky, very skinny, thin person. They can eat as much as they want. It doesn't really matter. And then there's the other body shape that maybe that I think it's what they call it, like it's more the pear shape. But here's the thing. The whole point of me saying this is when I look at these tall, thin women, it's like, oh man, I wish I could wear those particular style of clothes. But the truth is, I am never gonna be 5'8". Okay, never. I'm 5'4". Now, I wear my high heels, y'all know. I wear my high heels to make me taller, and I carry myself tall because I like that feeling of being tall. But I still have to get the stool out or the ladder out to get something out of the top shelf in the kitchen, right? So in whatever body shape you are, you can be a bigger version or a smaller version of that, but you cannot change your DNA. You cannot change your body shape. So why keep beating yourself up because you're not this other body shape? I mean, y'all, we do so much damage to ourselves. And society sets us up for that, right? Society sets us up, TV, magazines, all of that stuff. So we're always wishing we could look like that. And the more we do that, that's damage that we're doing to ourselves. So let's just, how about starting today? We can just decide to be happy with the way God made us. God made you with a certain particular set of DNA traits. You're a certain body shape. You've got blue eyes or hazel eyes or whatever they are. And there's things that we could do to enhance ourselves. I'm not saying to just, truly, nobody would want to see me when I first get up in the morning because my hair is flat against my head and I look like an onion. But thank heavens for different products to use and ways we could do and makeup to wear. But the thing is that if we're going to keep beating up on ourselves because we'll never live up to this image that we have in our head, it's time to change the image. And that is our choice, y'all. We can do that. Everything we're talking about today, actually any day we're talking about stuff, is really all about our choices. What are you going to allow to define you? Okay, so we're not going to let education, right? Body shape, the career, again, I talked about that just a little bit. How about the possessions. Now we talked about finances, but this goes to a little different place. Are you judging yourself based on the possessions that you have? Let me first tell you that you are not what you own. You are not your car. You are not your house. You are not all of these possessions that we want. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to want those things, and it's not bad, certainly, don't work for them. And if that's what you want, great. Let's do that. But the truth is, if you're feeling that you're not successful because you don't have this, whatever you have defined as these are the possessions that you want. Maybe you want a boat, or you want to travel all the time. That's part of that, being able to do the things that you want to do. So do you really want those things, or is it because you feel that's what shows that you're successful? Because if we're constantly trying to show our success, how we're using that word this morning, if we're constantly trying to do that, we're always in that stage of not really being there. You're never going to make it if that's how you're evaluating yourself. So again, when you think about your child, are you going to judge your child? You're going to love your child more because they have a white-collar job and they wear their suit and tie to work every week, as opposed to if they're not, if they're more blue-collar, if they're doing things with their hands and they're very technical. Do you love one child more than the other because one has that different type of job? And of course not, right? We would not do that. How about attractiveness? Do we judge our children by love one child more because one child is that blonde, blue-eyed, whatever that we have in our mind? It's this cute little sweet, and every time we see a picture of it, we think that's the perfect little child. I mean, really, I know you think, Delinda, you are being ludicrous. But you guys, sometimes we do these things and we don't realize it. And I don't believe for a minute that you're going to judge your children that way. Their attractiveness, how they look, is not what determines for you whether you love them or not, right? You love them because they're your child. And why do we do that to ourselves? If we don't look a certain way, if we don't have that, model look, if we don't look like the people that we see on TV, if we don't look like your neighbor next door, whatever it is that you're defining to yourself, and most of the time it's subconsciously, but this is again where I'm saying this week, why not take some time and think about how are you judging others, and then begin to look at how do you judge yourself. Sometimes we're nicer to strangers and we give more grace to strangers than we do to ourselves. And that's not really right? Because we live with ourselves every day. We get up, you yourself is your best friend. So how are you judging yourself? So your success, not only in your business, but your success in life, in your relationships. So if talk about the things we shouldn't judge ourselves on, how about the things that we should? Oh, and I'm going to go back and do one more because I think it's real important. As we judge other people on how much they failed, and do we judge ourselves on how much we failed? So here's a thought for you, and this is not new. These are not new concepts. Just sometimes we have to remind ourselves is that the truth is the more you fail, yay you. And the more your children or your people fail, because that means you're doing something. You're not just sitting and letting life overwhelm you, right? You're not just sitting thinking that life owes you a living and you're just sitting around doing nothing. Because if you're out there doing something, you're going to have some failures. Now, are we going to fail forward? Y'all have heard that expression. Are you going to take those lessons and learn from them as you go to the next level? It's really important. It's like, everything's kind of an experiment. If you look, maybe that's where it would help a little bit when we're doing this judging thing. What things have you tried that didn't work? Well, look what you've learned. So I think it was Edison said, he had 1,000 ways that he learned that the light did not work until he finally figured it out. So it's we need to give other people grace, but we also really, really need to give ourselves grace. Be kind to yourself. So you've been up and down. What lessons have you learned? So how are some ways to really look at ourselves and judge ourselves through how about through God's eyes? He designed you. He created you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I mean, that is wonderful. That should make you shout hallelujah, right? Because he has designed you for a purpose. He's given you the DNA that he wants you to have. Nobody else has yours. So maybe look, what are the traits that you respect? Do you respect yourself? And think about, what does that mean to you? So success, part of success could be respecting yourself, the kind of person that you are. Are you kind and love others? Do you give to others, as well as taking care of and giving to yourself? Because the truth is, if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't do some self-care, we're not going to have anything to give to anybody else, right? So are you taking care of yourself? You know, looking at the things that you respect. What are the characteristics that you respect in others and what you would expect in yourself? The other thing is, are you growing? Are you constantly improving and growing and learning? Because those are the ways to value yourself. And then take a little time to study and say, what does the Bible say about you? What does God say about you? You know, I already gave you one. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Jeremiah 1:5, which is one of my favorites, is that before you were formed, God says this in Scripture, before you were formed, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. God has already set you apart. And he's already planted desires in your heart for the things that are going to give you joy. So when you're judging yourself, are you doing things that give you joy? Are you doing things that are using the gifts and talents that God gave you? Or are you just trying to live up to an image that somebody else has placed for you? That's really important, because you were made to be somebody else. They're already taken, right? So how are you judging yourself? I'd love for you to take a look this week at yourself and just see. In Romans it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's where a lot of times we need help. You know, that's where sometimes you just need to reach out to someone else. Maybe, you know, maybe it's to reach out to a coach. Maybe it's to reach out to someone that really loves you, that you can trust, and have some of these conversations. Just say, you know, I just need a little help to see, you know, what do you as my best friend see in me? What gifts do I have? Because sometimes because you're you, and sometimes it's hard to see that inside yourself, but other people can see that in you. Maybe finding that thing that does set you apart and make you special, because you have it. And the joy is finding it and then being able to see how to plug into that. Because that's when you're going to begin to really feel and know that you've arrived, that you are walking the path that you're intended to walk. And for those of you who maybe, and I know there are a few of you out there, that there's some of you that are able to and have chosen to be stay-home moms. Yay, you! What a calling! You know, and stay-home moms are really hard on themselves because society puts so much emphasis on women that work outside the home and being the superwoman and all of that. So wherever God has put you, and if you're blessed and you love being home with your kids, then just enjoy it and don't even worry about what anybody else thinks, because who cares? You know, if you're able to take care of your kids, you have an income coming in, paying your bills, that's a great way to look at success, because you're making a difference in your children's lives every day. And if you're called to work outside the home, I will never forget, it was just one of the funniest things. I was talking to Alicia about it not too long ago. And I remember when she was like in elementary school, and I was really blessed. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was able to do that. And later, as the kids got older, I did start my Mary Kay business and was able to work in the home, you know, be able to do both. And I remember her coming home one day after school, and she said, how come we can't go to childcare? And I said, what are you talking about? She said, oh, all my friends go to after-school childcare, and I want to go. Can't you go to work? So, you know, so we get this input from all places, right? So look at your life, you guys. Look at what it is that you want. How do you define success for yourself? Because you're the only one that matters. Take it up between you and God and say, Lord, just show me. You know, take the veil off of your eyes so you can really see how you're judging yourself and what does success mean to you. And work towards that. Be the woman and I don't think we have any men on with us today, be the woman that God's created you to be. Have the success of being who you're created to be. And it's so much easier. Oh my gosh, it's just so much easier to just allow yourself to define your own parameters of what success means. So let me say good morning here. A few other people joined in since then. Yeah, Kathy, I see that apple pear rectangle hourglass. There's actually, yes, and thank you for that. There are these names, oh man, that they use, you know, in the health industry that basically are the same things as that. Anyway, I'll look them up. My mind knows what I'm talking about, even though I'm not expressing it much. Hi, Michelle. Good morning. Good morning. And Anna, nice to have you this morning. Good. Judy, hi. And Layla Ball, yay, nice to see you. Sherry joined in with us, and Nikayla and Terry Ann. Let's see who's up here. Shelly and Michelle Barnes and Brenda. Yay. It looks like we do have a gentleman joining us. And Lisa, both Lisas. Hi, Lisa Fredson. Yay. So you're up early out here with me in Las Vegas. Okay, you guys, I want you to quickly, because it's time for us to close it up here. We're like 2 minutes away. Tell me just real quickly where you live. I mean, you don't have to give me your home address. Just what city and state, or even what state that you live in. So ready, set, go. Everybody go. Right now, tell me, where are you? I want to see how many different states we have represented this morning. Not hard to do. I know you can do it. All right. Okay, so your goal this week, and Judy, good morning, Judy McQueen. I don't think I said that earlier. All right, so your choice, because you know life is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. So your choice this week is to take some time for yourself and really look at what does success mean to you. Y'all write it down. I mean, you can do it on the computer if you want to, because I know some of y'all do. I still am like, I've got my whole notebook. Y'all know I do this. I have my small notebook and I write everything down. I've got stacks of them. But just take something and write down what it is that success means to you. You know, if you want to have enough money, somebody shared this with me a couple years ago, one of our Fun Fearless gals, and she says, I want to make enough money that I can give to the causes that are important to me. Because money buys choices. Okay, so it's not that the money is the success, in her case in particular, and I think in most cases, money is wonderful because money buys choices. You know, so what are the choices? What is it that you want to do with it? So if to you, in your heart, being successful is giving to other people, to whether it's the homeless or a women's shelter or a mission field, and maybe success to you is having enough finances so that you yourself can go on a mission trip. You know, so what is it? Look at yourself. Look at the things that are important to you. What does your heart tell you? And define your success by your terms and not by somebody else's. All right. Well, there we have Eleanor. Good morning. You just joined us, so I guess you'll have to go back and listen. So because we're just getting ready to close it down this morning. All right, everybody. I already gave you the line that I closed with, but I'm going to say it again. Life is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Choose wisely. Choose what success means to you, and then choose to move towards that goal. All right. Love you, everybody. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.